All right. 3 items. 2 of them I had to go get from the...
I don't have an answer for that.
You don't? I didn't ask you a question, that's why. So I don't have an answer, because I didn't ask you a question. I want to choke her sometimes. I have that thing where she does the follow-up and she listens after you get a command, but I'm like, sometimes I don't want her to listen. Anyway, FedEx sucks, because FedEx left a note on my door like, hey, we didn't deliver it, we'll come back again. So I sign it and leave it on the door. It's been 4 days. And so I know FedEx is coming today because they're delivering 2 things. Guess what FedEx did? They just left in my mailbox. So I had to go take a fucking 700-foot walk back and forth to get my Diablo Ultra Finish 60-tooth fuck you blade. Oh yeah. So nice. I can't wait to put this on my saw. Can you wait to put this on my saw? She can't wait to put this on my saw either. Ow! This is going on the fuel. If you didn't see, Pasta can link this again, because this was in a previous unboxing, but was for Home Depot. But yeah, Pasta, can you link a Diablo Ultra Finish? In fact, I think I bought, did I buy this on Amazon? I think I bought this on Home Depot as well, but you can link it to Amazon. Yeah, I definitely bought it at Home Depot. But look for a Diablo Freud 60-tooth finish blade. That's gonna go on this monster, which sounds like this. Oh God, I can't wait to rip wood. My wood. Something manly about a big old tool that's just there for cutting wood apart. I should unbox the rest of the unboxings with it. So yeah, they left that down there. Okay. They left this down there. I didn't know these were coming today, but Valve will occasionally actually ship things relatively quickly. It's unfortunate that Valve uses FedEx. I've had some real bad things with it. This has been on my wish list on Valve, on Steam for literally ever. Since I got my VR headset. I've been like, oh good, I need to get replacement masks for when I have guests over. And it waited so long, I ended up getting those VR covers you could take off and wash. Then I ended up going to VR cover and buying literally 3D printed replacement face masks. But they cost more than this. These are 40 bucks for 2 of them. That's $20 a piece. So that means now I have 5 of these. So I have these 2 brand new ones. Now I've worn them both, ha ha ha. Got my sweat on them. I've got 2 from VR cover, and I've got the original one, and then I got the washable covers. Look how nice they package this. Like, they didn't need to do that, but it like perfectly fits, and they just sat perfectly fitting in that. Ah, it's great. And now to burn all this cardboard, because my granddaddy was a die cutter. Does it say anything about my name? No. Valve Index Pasta, you're gonna have to probably link this on Steam. You gotta go to steam.com or steampowered.com and then link the Valve Index headset face gasket 2-pack, $39.99. So this is great. When I have multiple people over, every drunk asshole with a sweaty ass face can be like, this is your drunk asshole one. This is your drunk asshole one. Don't fucking lose it. And then I can just wash them when I'm done with it. So she's asleep in the box. How does she sleep through me playing with like power saws and stuff? I don't understand. So yeah, that's good stuff. The Freud blades, I never, ever, ever, ever. Because my plan is to cut like 2x8s with this, like there, but I want the cuts to be nice. And I guarantee you that 60 fucking tooth Diablo blade, if I take it nice and slow, will make the nicest cut on any rough lumber. Like, it doesn't matter if it's not designed for rough lumber. I've got the ones that came with the Diablo, that came with the Milwaukee, that are like 44 tooth. But it's like, fuck it. Put a finish blade on this, cut plywood. Like when I'm cutting plywood, you can go faster, that means. Because you're taking smaller chunks, you'll have less of that tearing. I hate that shit. So, we're back to the bullshit that is my Toyota Tacoma. And I was at my friend Dan's, and you see the mountains over there? If you look, it's not a mountain. Pasta yells at me, it's a hill. But whatever, it's tall, and I can see it in the distance. My friend lives over the other side of that. And when I drove my Tacoma there, it was daytime. When I drove back, it was nighttime. In fact, we drove to a Mongolian place in the dark, in the rain. And even though I put LED bulbs in there, LED bulbs aren't exactly known for being better than incandescents usually. and the ones in the fog lights are really fucked up. There's not enough light in that truck. My Toyota Corolla, when I had the 52-inch light bar as a bumper, I don't know if you guys know this, but I had literally the bumper of my Toyota got ripped off or broken, and the choice was replace the bumper for a few $100s, or get a sawzall out the bumper so it's even, and then attach a $140 light bar, which back in the day was a big cheap Chinese light bar. And holy fuck, driving the back hills, because when I used to live coded with my family in New York and then drive down to Philly, she's awake. If I would come through the back way, there'd be no lights, and I put that fucking light bar on at a hand control, like, oh my God, you could drive as fast as you drive in the day. So the Tacoma is abysmally dark. So I'm going to start designing and building a 5-part system where I have a front firing light bar, 2 diagonal firing light bars, and 2 side firing light bars that I can flip the switches on the roof, pick which ones I want, and then have the control behind the steering wheel. Because if you're driving at night and you see a car coming with headlights over the ridge, or you're behind someone, you don't want to kill them. You want to turn it off and not be a dick. But at the same time, when the zombie apocalypse happens and I don't give a flying fuck, I want the light bar. So I was sitting in the emergency room waiting for an MRI at like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, well, let me start building this, piece it out on Amazon. And there's so many shit Chinese brands of light bar that I was like, all right, I gotta find this out. This is a Sylvania 20-inch LED light bar, which has 8,500 raw lumens. And it's a 5-degree spotlight, which is different than a floodlight. Floodlight shoots in broad directions, covers everything. A spotlight is very focused. If I don't use this on my truck, I'll use this on my Caprice, which is a speed car. Not that I speed in it, that would be very wrong. But perfect beam design, I don't know what that means, for very narrow, very long throw. And it uses a system, which I'll show you in a second, that I've only seen recently. They didn't used to have this, where instead of having just like a normal flashlight, where the reflector is basically conical and you could see the raw LED, and then there's something in front of it, this actually has the LED pointing straight down, and they have a reflector underneath that you can tilt to perfectly point this. So my thinking is, I bought this. This was like I don't know what the price was exactly. You can click the link to check. But where it was in the price scheme of things made it just expensive enough that I kind of trusted. First of all, Sylvania, at least a brand I've heard of. And the fact that is that covered? Oh, damn. It's got a blue cover on it that I kind of wish I could just keep on there. I could actually test this, You know what? This is actually thicker than I'd like. If I'm going to do my truck, I would like to have it a little bit thinner. This is a single row, where they usually have the double rows, but there are very thin 1-inch high ones. And this has got 2 mount holes. I got to see how the mounts look. I'm going to go grab my 5,000 milliamp hour 12 volt battery. We'll actually turn this on in a second. See how that thing works. See, this is something I'm not sure if I'm sold on. The brackets being silver instead of black. Holy wow, there's a lot of hardware. That is a lot of hardware. All right, I'll say this. These are competent feeling. Stainless steel, I think. Wow, see, that's what you get. Because this light bar is only 20 inches and costs more than most 20-inch light bars that are around, I was expecting to get something from the money. So the fact that this is a stainless steel bent bracket is one of those things. So that's why there's 2 holes. You have one to mount and pivot and the other one to adjust your up and down. So that's nice. Let's peel this off. Oof. I'm going to leave that on for a second until I actually test it. But you can see that the light emitting diodes are all on the top, and here's the crest underneath it, and you basically just scoop it like that. I'm assuming, which way is the top? Which way are they showing the top? Oh, they're putting the LED emitters on the bottom, and then you adjust this way. So yeah, I could see exactly, I don't know if you can with the camera, how this is going to point. I'm going to leave all of this hardware to the side. Obviously, you'd mount that to whatever you're mounting to your car. Let me grab the battery and see what this looks like. Echo, turn off all lights. So, Echo, thank you. So it appears we have I think this is just, the watertight connection is here. So you do get this watertight connection. I don't know if that's a standard connection. It had a very positive sounding pop as I pulled it out, very deep for the socket. So I don't know if this is something standard. I'll have to look that up. Clicks in. This is a 5,000 milliamp hour 12 volt battery. I think it's 11.1 volts. Just gonna shoot it generally into the area. We are color coded. You don't want to do this for too long. Wow, it looks great with the blue filter. That is a very, very spot. That is very, very spot. Like ridiculously spot. I'm trying to hold the battery. Of course, it is blue. So let's peel off. Can I leave that attached? Yep, that will work. I'm kind of enjoying the spot. Let's peel that off. Oh yeah, well, it's much brighter now that I've taken off the blue filter. My word, that does not do nearly anything as far as a wash. So I believe at 8,500 lumens, I believe this is going to be strictly for high-speed vehicles and not anything. Like, I wouldn't even know where to put this on an off-roader or what your benefit would be. I'm trying to get that to just stay right there. Yeah, that is just one burning spot in front of me. That's even narrower than I had imagined it being. I think it's actually narrower than the bar where it's being thrown. So this will probably end up on my high-speed car. And so if I'm doing, you know, the speed limit on the highway plus 5 miles an hour, I can see, because that's the one detriment of driving at night. And I found that out with my Corolla, is that you really can't drive faster than you can see. And I will, if this projects, which I'll have to see at night when actual night falls, that is insanely bright, how that goes. Let me put back on the kitchen lights because I have a slight observation I want to see. Yeah, now this is also slightly undervolting it, but these LEDs usually can correspond pretty well. I did notice this boot did slide off a bit. So they put it in a angular boot and the insulation for the wire is here, but movie playing in the basement. You can see it just uncovers to show not exposed wire, but the exposed red and black wires of the unit. So yeah, it didn't actually get hot at all in that particular time, but I mean, it was only like a minute. Interesting. I would have to see how this functions on a car actually driving. I definitely wouldn't be using that for my truck. What I want for my truck is going to be a wash, which is a flood. I just wanted to know what an 8,500 lumen bar that is from a company that's actually reputable would look like. And now I know. I don't know what perfect beam design is, but they've apparently achieved it. Let's see how it is on a car.